What's up, world? What's up, Zion? It's Prince Easy coming at you again, as usual, right? And of course, this fine here Sunday, um, we're gonna talk about some stuff, right? As per usual, right? So before wasting any time, I wanna issue a disclaimer for the copywritten material that's gonna be shared here in this here post, right? Right. So yeah, let's get to it. So they have been busy, right? I think I shared this information about last week, right? And the whole PSYOP kicked off when the Chinese students started asking unfavorable questions, right? And now, as you can see from the post above, they're trying to backdate the pyramids to basically disassociate them with the kingdoms of Egypt that existed over there, right? And of course, below we just see a common trend, right, of all the intellectuals that had a large contribution to the Western prosperity. They are moving back home. What does that say about the current state of affairs? Right, so apparently Uvira has been rebelated. This is in the Congo. All right. So yeah, consolidate. Yeah, now those rumors and speculations of blackmail and this and that, I don't know. Maybe Trump, since you want to have these all talks of going to heaven and whatnot, maybe he should not be quote unquote, or rather let himself be blackmailed, if we are to accept that to be the narrative that is being painted here. Okay, first and foremost, let me tell you this. This ritualistic behavior, it doesn't care about the left or the right wing. They are all the same, right? In Babylon, you do not get to be the president if you're not involved in such type of shenanigans. Okay? It's only in due time that information is gonna come out, right? To show these people, whoever they are, because their deeds speak for themselves, right? So do not be bamboozled, right? The absence of some individuals in the Epstein file does not mean that they are innocent, right? This whole file situation to me is quite suspicious, if you ask me, right? Because if they are really the criminals that we are meant to believe they are, why did they have all of this information, or let them people take such information, right? Like, it's some crazy work going on here, on top of the confusion they're trying to throw into the mix. All I'm saying is just observe, but more is coming ahead. Just let me tell you that. More bizarre than what you have heard so far, officially, so to speak. Yeah, Orban, you need to fight back, right? And those people who are logical and see whatever is happening there for what it is, it's a disaster waiting to happen. Not by accident, but by people actually provoking Russia and China and North Korea, just provoking all of these nuclear powers. Why? Because there is an aspect of Satanism that we have long ignored when it comes to this whole situation. right? What a brave lawyer. Again, somebody has been paying attention. Well, for now, he'll seem like he's a bad guy. He's only protecting the interests of Russia. But let's just say we shall circle back to this, right? We shall double back at this particular moment, right? Because we have seen the first time and the first round and what has that has done, right? For many years, global Zionism, together with the Israeli state, had relied on intimidation and systematic strategy to suppress criticism. Any challenge to Zionist ideology or Israeli policies, regardless of how factual, balanced, and evidence-based, is labeled as anti-Semitism. Over the past 2 years, this tactic has escalated dramatically to the point where accusations of anti-Semitism have been directed at countless Jewish philosophers, historians, intellectuals, politicians, journalists, and artists, solely for criticizing Zionism or condemning Israelis' atrocities, including the prolonged and devastating genocide in Gaza. In recent days, himself became a target of this campaign after publishing an opinion article in the Saudi newspaper Al Jazeera, right? In which I examined the documented Emirati and Israeli political scheme directed against the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the broader Arab world. The response went beyond attacking me and extended with striking audacity to accusing Saudi Arabia itself of anti-Semitism. Yeah, this is what happened, right? The first round, this is what happened. Now they are scrambling to look for other suppliers, right? As they say, to reduce reliance on the US. If it was a scheme, then we shall see, let's just call it adverse reactions from the Americans. Yep, you own nothing and be happy, right? Meaning mostly things are gonna be subscriptional because there's no way people are gonna have nothing. All right? I'm quite interested since they are focused on, I don't know, minimizing the strength of the Egyptian military. For what purpose? Who knows? Maybe Greater Israel, somebody? Hmm? I would not be shocked to find out that they were also involved in that Libya situation. I would not be shocked. They exist. Yeah, Italy. How about them apples? Hmm? Look at this. No grand statement, no threats of sanctions, no special documentary, no meeting, no emergency meeting from the EU, nada. Hmm? I thought it was a rumor that ICE was not involved. Apparently it is. This is quite something. Hmm? 5 tons. Wow. Hmm? Who came up with this idea? Yeah, as usual, right? Call a spade a spade. Okay? This was satanic. It was satanic. Right? There's no other way to see it. Right? Literally. The light bearer running around with a torch. Worshipping the gods still. Him also. With the angels and the eagles. Crazy work. Crazy work. But I don't know, maybe they think people are stupid to see who organized this, right? Do you think this spectacle here was just, I don't know, trolling, to make memes and stuff? Maybe that's how low we have sunken in our disbelief of the existence of the supernatural, because that's what it is, right? We think we have grown too intelligent for such things to even exist, as if our level of intelligence dictates. We shall find out. Unfortunately, for some it will be the hard way, right? And remember this whole ordeal, right? And this is the scheme directly, right? The beast has supporters, that's why it exists. The beast system has supporters, that's why it exists. There are people who are benefiting from the blood, from the cries. They feel I don't know, all warm in this cold world and stuff, But hey, they're gonna wake up, and it's not gonna be pretty for these people who organize these things here, because it's not gonna be seen as a artistic performance. It's gonna be seen as a satanic ritual, that they have forced people to partake in a satanic ritual, praising the devil. They think it's funny, right? Having all of the symbolism, the ark and all of this, right? Well, like I said, there is the way of Cain and there is the way of Abel, right? There is the way of Jacob, there is the way of Esau. The way of Abel, the way of Jacob, they recognize and understand the Creator exists, and there are actually evil forces out there. Cain and Esau, they said, you know what? We're going to embrace this evil so as it can give us power. Right? That is why from the scripture I read you earlier the other month, it was talking about how God is going to wage war against Amalek forever and ever, generation to generation. Why? Because they are evil. Right? Again, like I said, go read the stories of the Israelites. All of those people who were ordered to be eliminated by the hand of the Israelites, they were evil, brothers and sisters. Evil. One of them being the Canaanites. Right? There is a lot of information out there about the lifestyle of the Canaanites, but it is suppressed and hidden. Why? Because it is not past history. It is current history, right? Like the Epstein guy connecting his account and calling his account Baal. What do you think that is? That's a Canaanite god, right? And when the Israelites or the sons of Jacob snoozed a little bit, right, and put down their defense to embrace Esau and his way of Cain, he found out that he got compromised. He adopted this worship of Baal, which does indeed involve sacrificing one's child. So they keep it hidden so as you cannot see the similarities to what was happening then and what is happening now. So what do? They redirect your anger towards the Israelites and say, yo, look at these people. They were genociding and whatnot. No, you need to read the history before you jump to that conclusion. Why? Okay, these texts have been passed down for years. For years. Right? And it's pretty hard to change stuff in there, especially the narrative. Why? Because it echoes somewhere else. And if you form a contradiction, then it becomes impossible. Right? The scriptures are like that. They repeat themselves over and over, over and over, over and over. That's how they were written. So if one book is manipulated, when you compare to the other books, you'll see the discrepancy. Right? So they can change the names and stuff. I mean, that's how far they can go. Right? But let's be honest, if you are a Christian, if you call yourself a Christian right now and you believe the name of the Messiah from the Bible in Aramaic was Jesus Christ, then we have a long way to go. Okay? We have a long way to go. I think that's all I'm gonna say. Right? For people who say they really care, no. No. They are lying. Right? They're all about acting like the Pharisees. Right? Their outward appearance to be seen holy and basically doing things so as men can praise them, right? Can worship them, can idolize them. So out of their mouth only comes the nice stuff. But the reality is that it is hard to swallow, right? And every one of us has to choose, right? Are we gonna go in the way of Jacob or are we gonna follow the way of Cain? Because it exists out there. It is a lifestyle and we are seeing it. We have seen it, right? The homosexuality, the ritual sacrifices, the whole nine. That would explain what and why everything is happening the way it is happening. Right? It's because there is a deep satanic connection to this whole ordeal that people have not been paying attention, or let's say rather they have been programmed to ignore or to rather make fun of, right? As, I don't know, foolishness in their wisdom. But this is real. This is real, right? And these symbols trace all the way back to the African culture. Egypt, right? If this did not protect the Egyptians from the Greeks, from the invasions over the years, then it will definitely not protect you. Right? So they are following the way of Cain, right? Worshipping fallen angels. which exist here on earth, walking around with us for thousands of years, not going down, not going up. They just exist here as punishment, right? So they are already served up for slaughter, right? Because they believe charms and incantations and all of these things can save them, right, from what is coming. You know, that's what is absurd about this whole ordeal, right? But we're gonna find out. Like I said, we Egyptians, we are big on this witchcraft here. Even now, Africa is big in witchcraft. Right, so we know all about this. And many people have learned, some the easy way, some the hard way, that the way of Cain is not worth it. It's not worth it, right? There are things I can tell you, right? These fallen angels, or what people refer to as demons, they have power, right? They have power that cannot be ignored. They have power to cast illusions. That's what it is. Right? And they taught humanity many, many things. Right? You should go through the book of Enoch. But again, this is just a reality, right? And why do they keep publishing these people? Right? Because they want you to partake in mocking them. Right? They want you to partake in mocking them and discrediting them. Right? He didn't repeat it in 2020 and now from 2018 to 2020 the same thing. No. There is a time that it will reach a point that one cannot look away. One cannot look away. And it is what it is. Most people are not there yet. They are not horrified by what has been, what they regard to be their lives here on earth. It has been nothing but a nightmare. And then people will start moving in a coordinated manner towards common prosperity, away from these blood-sucking demons, right? As Putin put it, the vampire ball is about to end. It is ending hard, and it's gonna end with a bang. So again, people have been saying, but again, what I'm saying is what I said before. This is about narrative control, right? You should not be getting your information from these three-letter agencies. That's where your information should not be coming from. Right? So Haiti went out there, right? And they were geared. Right? They don't even have snow over there. But then people start to show up and show off. Right? And of course, the whole thing, since it has tricked people to believe that there is a white supremacy connotations and stuff. No. Yeah. Political propaganda. Do they even know what propaganda is? Do they know what propaganda is? I don't think they know. The reality is, it was a loss, and it was hurtful, for them, right? Why? Because history. Okay, history triggers their pride and stuff, right? And these demons behind their ears keep telling them, you know what, you can do this, I got your back, you can do this, while leading them to destruction, because they're going nowhere. It is obvious, isn't it? So yeah, we shall find out. So anyway, that was me trying to, you know, keep us up to date pertaining to the things that are unfolding in this crazy world of ours. Okay, so I think we need to evolve with the information that is available. That is crucial, right? Evolving with the available information and how these people are shaping the narrative, we should be adapting also, right? We should be adapting also, right? And not let their satanic agendas come to fruition. That's our business. So anyway, Prince Easy, I'm gonna put a pin on it right there. And love you. Bye.